What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizone for a preview for the Empoli game. I'm doing it by myself today. So no midweek game for the first time in a while, it feels. But we're back. It's good to be back. I hope it's good to be back. But we're gonna preview the Empoli game. We're going to talk about what Allegri said in the presser. We're going to talk about the lineup, or like the predicted, expected lineup, whatever you want to call it. And we will touch on Empoli a little bit because they're doing better than I think a lot of people would have expected at the start of the season. You know, they're only sitting, I think, 5 points behind us. I think so. So they're not gonna be a walkover, but I don't think anyone is gonna be a walkover for us at this moment in time. But we will talk about that. Anything else before we get into it? If you haven't, go watch Justin and Julian's pick'em video, which is always fun. Tomorrow, live match reaction, pre-recorded match reaction. On Sunday, there will be a podcast. It's been a while, but the podcast will be back, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's it. So let's get into the preview for the Empoli game. So we are coming off a win, a derby win. I want to say, are we going to build some momentum? But I think we asked that questions a few times this season when we beat, Bologna, and we beat Maccabi, and we were like, can we build on this? And we didn't build on this. Like, it collapsed completely after basically one day. A few days, because we went to Maccabi and we lost. Now it's Empoli at home after Torino win. I want to say you should beat Empoli, and you should beat Empoli. But yeah, nothing is a given for us. Everything is gonna be hard fought, I believe, and same for tomorrow. That's what I believe. But we will go into some quotes from Allegri, because he said some things, not finally, but like he said some disturbing or some weird things in my opinion, and I will explain why. But let's get into the first quote, where he talked about the Torino game and basically the moment we're in now. He said it was a well-deserved victory against Torino, which I agree. We were the better team and we deserved to win. For it to become an important success, we must have continuity, starting against Empoli. I agree, but for it to be an important success, we need to, go on a long winning streak, not 2 games, draw a game, win a game, lose a game. That's not continuity. Continuity is going on a big winning streak now, because that's what we need, He's saying the team is doing better mentally. I cannot see that. It's been 1 game because we lost to Maccabi, we won against Torino. So I have no real proof of that, to be honest. I said the win against Torino gave us more serenity. I can believe that. The mood of the group is also dictated by results, but we have to be careful against Empoli tomorrow. That's true. Like, if you win, there's positive vibes around the club, around fans, in the locker room especially. So I agree, but you need more than a win against Torino and a win against Empoli. You need much more for this to be, a turnaround, or whatever you want to call it. Because even if you beat Empoli, you can go to Benfica away and you get smacked, And even though you're already out of the Champions League group, like taking a beating, and a beating could be a 2-0. That's already a beating in my opinion. That brings back negativity around the club, even when even if you claim it's not important, it's done, we're going to the Europa League, whatever, it's still a negative feeling, because you take an L once again. So I just need more than Torino and possibly potential Empoli win. Like, I need much more. I need 4, 5, 6 wins in a row at this point. And I know it seems impossible, and I think it's impossible with this current team, but I think that's what we need. I think that's really what we need at the moment. So I cannot really, like, he can maybe say it's the team is doing mentally better, blah, blah, blah. I cannot base that on 1 win against Torino. But let's see how that will, turn out in the next couple of weeks, basically. Let's move on to the next quote. The big one. And again, I said it so many times, and that's why I don't want to talk about transfer news now at this moment in time, because it's proven bullshit. Like, it's proven that it's absolutely crap, because the same sources putting out things out there and basically putting out their thoughts out there, nothing concrete, nothing with facts. The same sources were saying, oh, Chiesa is back for Empoli, and Allegri actually laughed about that, scenario. He said, no. So that's the news you're dealing with at the moment. That's why I'm not discussing transfer news, because the same people have not even a clue if a player is going to be, be on the bench. Like, not even playing. Will he be on the bench? And they have no clue. So let alone that they know what the club is going to do in January at this point. That's another, how do you want to say it? Proof that they're absolutely lying. Just filling newspapers at this point. That's why I don't want to discuss it. But he was asked about Chiesa. He said, at the moment, Chiesa and Pogba are not available. Federico participated in 2 training sessions, while Pogba only partially joined the group in the last training sessions. The 2 of them won't be called up tomorrow. That's what he said. And then, I don't know if I have that quote, but he also said we will play a friendly game on Saturday for Chiesa to see where his fitness level is at. So, no Chiesa on the bench. Like, it would be positive if he was on the bench. It means that he's a step closer, but he was not going to play anyway. And for Pogba, again, people were making predictions. But people, journalists, it's not even close at the moment. Chiesa, again, wrong information from the same people, putting transfer news out there. But yeah, we're in the same situation. No Chiesa and no Pogba, on the bench, which, again, if he was on the bench, it means he's closer, but he was not going to play anyway. So, yeah, but I said it, we needed Allegri to speak to have a clear update on where the players are at the moment. And he gave us that update. So that's good. We have something to go on now. Let's move on. He said, Empoli is a fast and technical team. To win, we have to put ourselves on par with them and show that we have more value. If, on the other hand, we think we're superior, we risk making mistakes. Now, I saw a lot of people going mad out of that quote, and I understand why. But I can also see why he said that, because I'm thinking like that. Like, I'm not going into the Empoli game and be like, oh, easy win. Like, we're gonna win easy, because I know how this team is at this moment in time. It should be an easy win. We shouldn't put ourselves on the same level as Empoli, and we shouldn't not think that we are superior because that's why we are making mistakes. Like, that shouldn't be the case, but I believe it's the case. I think he actually, for once, was, excuse me, for once he was not lying. He was telling the truth, and the truth is this. Nobody wants to hear it, and for once, I didn't want him to say, if he said the complete opposite, saying, yeah, they're a fast technical team, but we should beat them easily and all those things, no problem, blah, 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 I'll be like, you're lying, because I think you struggle against Maccabi, so you struggle against Sanitana, you lost against Monza, you struggle against Sampdoria. So, yeah, we shouldn't be in this scenario, but I can maybe you shouldn't have said that, but I'm thinking the same way. Like, I'm not going into the Empoli game and be like 100% easy win like I did in previous seasons. I'm like, we should win, but and I think we will win, but I'm not gonna say it's 99% sure. I'm not on that level. But yeah, it sounded weird. It sounded very small club mentality. I will say that, but that's the situation we are in at the moment now, and I think everything he says will be not liked at this point. By me, by anyone else, whatever. So I don't think he can win in this situation. Whatever he's going to say, it's going to get hate at this point. But let's move on. Oops, let me get this out of the way. He said games are now played in 15. Those who come off the bench become decisive no matter how many minutes they're getting. Well, yes, you need your bench, but then start using your bench because you're not using your bench. Like giving Paredes 4 minutes, it's not using your bench. And yes, I don't know if I have that quote on. Let me see. Oh yeah, I will read them out loud. He said, I would like the roster available to make changes. A friendly will be arranged for Kiers on Saturday morning to see the fitness level. Paul has done partly trained with the group, but he hasn't had a serious workout since July 23 to rush everything back. Everyone back is madness. Then he also said, McKennie is coming from 11 games. Cuadrado's coming from more games. I have to evaluate things. And going back to the point, he said, I need the entire bench. Like, I need 15 players. He is... It's like, you know that meme with the frog looking in the mirror or whatever. It's him. Like, he's talking to himself. And someone else looking like him is saying the complete opposite. He says he needs a bench, but he doesn't use the bench. He gives Paredes 4 minutes. Like, and then he comes out with crap saying, and it's crap. Oh, he came in with the mentality of it. Like, I don't, screw that. Like, forget about it. 4 minutes. Look at Cristiano. He said, screw it. I'm not doing this. And yes, he's wrong. He shouldn't walk down that tunnel. But like, I can understand why players are like, screw you. Like, I'm not coming on for 4 minutes to do what? And I know it's a team sport, blah, blah, blah. But like, if it happens more times, I understand that a player will be like, you're disrespecting me at this point. Just don't play me at all. You know? He doesn't use his squad completely. And then he go, McKennie, Cuadrado, does he want us to feel sorry? Or like, I don't know what reaction he's expecting from saying this. McKennie's coming from 11 games, Cuadrado's coming from more. Then don't play him. Don't play them. Like, it's that easy. You have other players. It's not like we have no other options. We do. Probably better options. That's the weirdest part. So I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what reaction he wants out of this. Is it sympathy? Or like, I don't, is it an excuse? I don't know why he said that. It's absolutely ridiculous. McKennie is playing crap. Nobody forces you to play McKennie. You have Paredes, Locatelli, Miretti, Fagioli. You have these players. Nobody's saying play McKennie. It's not that we only have 3 fit midfielders. Cuadrado is horrendous. Like, awful. And I'm putting it nicely. He's poor. Nobody's forcing you to play him. You're playing him week in, week out. So don't come out with saying, oh, they're playing a lot of games. I don't care. Like, I actually don't give a shit. You're playing them. Don't play them. It's that simple. He's playing these guys. He believes that these guys are good enough at the moment, which is an absolute lie because they're not good enough. Everybody has eyes. So I'm not sure what he was expecting with that quote. I don't know which reaction he was getting or wanted to get from this. But when I heard it, I was like, you're taking the piss. Like, you're complaining about something you're creating? Like, I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. But whatever. We will go into the lineup later on. Let me see the next quotes. Okay, I will save the last. I will do it like this. Then he said Miretti is doing better. He played many high-level games early in the season. That takes away a lot of physical and mental energy. Fagioli and Sule are also growing. They will find playing time in the future. Going back to the McKennie point, what he brought up, Miretti had a little injury. He's back. Like, come on, he's back. Play him. He played many games early in the season. That takes away a lot of physical and mental energy. These guys are playing football games. It's September. He's talking about physical and mental energy. It's the end of October, not even. And he's already basically saying, it takes away mental and physical energy. And it's based on 4 games or like 6 games he played. Like, what is he talking about? Like, he's acting like we are in May and Miretti played 40 games. Like, that's how he's speaking. Like, he played, I don't know how many games he started. 4, 5, whatever. It's not even November and he's already complaining. Like, the physical shape of our team is a joke. Like, we look knackered before the 45 minutes or even done. So that's 100% true. But that's, again, on him, on his training staff, whatever. What has Miretti done wrong? Or like, what is McKennie doing better to get picked every week? Because he is one of the worst players on that pitch week in, week out before the ball has been kicked. Then the ball, the referee says, game on, and he becomes even worse. Like, that's what is happening. Nobody's forcing you to play McKennie. Not sure what he's saying about Miretti here, because, like, again, it's the 20th of October. What physical and mental energy is he talking about? Like, if that's actually a thing, then the issues are even bigger than we are thinking. Like, if he's already complaining, or saying it's already a lot to take, and it's the 20th of October, then what's the point? Like, what are we even doing? Paredes, yes, he didn't play a lot of games for PSG, but come on, don't give me that. Oh, he played a lot of games, so he cannot play now. So here we go, 4 minutes, minute 90. Come on, like, that's absolutely bullshit. He can play a half at least. I don't want to hear it. It's bullshit. So I don't feel sympathy. He's saying weird things. It's very obvious. He wants to trust certain guys who are not, repaying him. Everybody can see it. Week in, week out, stinkers from the same players. And he keeps picking him. So I don't want to hear mental or physical energy. I don't want to hear McKennie and Cuadrado are playing a lot of games. You're playing him. They're not playing themselves. It's you. It's actually you. And again, journalists in that dressing room or in that presser room, ask the question, write it down, and move on. Nobody is like, hold on. You're playing McKennie and Cuadrado. Why are you not playing Miretti? Why are you actually complaining about this when you're picking these players? Why don't you trust other players? No, nobody asked those questions, so we can go on and say the same crap, say the same crap week in, week out, basically. That's what's happening at this point. But we cannot complain, apparently. Let me see what people are saying. Let me bring this up. Khalid is saying Miretti can ball for sure. I don't know why he's doing this. Also, I'm Fagioli. Also, if I'm Fagioli, I'd leave. Oh, if you were Fagioli, you leave. I think he will leave. I think he will leave in January. I don't see how he can stay. I don't see it. I don't see why he would stay. But Miretti, I mean, I don't want to say I'm better than McKennie, but like it's bad, and the fact that he comes out saying, "Oh, he's playing a lot of things," a lot of games makes it even worse. I'm like, dude, you're playing him, he's playing crap. You're forcing him into the team, to the fans, to whatever, and then you come out saying he's playing a lot. Yeah, we know he's playing a lot. We watch the same crap week in, week out. We know he's playing. Or like, if you want to call it playing, we know you're putting him out there on that pitch. You don't need to tell us. Like, we can see it, Too bad. We actually can see it. So I don't want to hear that. I'm not sure what Miretti has done wrong, because he's not getting a minute. I don't buy the injury. Like, he's fit, whatever. He can say whatever he wants. Like, there are no reports that he's not fit. It's absolute bullshit. He is trusting his players, and his players are not repaying that trust. And I think the longer this, drags on, I think the more issues there will be in the locker room, because some players will be like, hold on, I'm being benched week in, week out while the dude you're playing is dropping stinkers week in, week out. Like, what is all this? He's not picking his team based on performances. He's picking his team at this point based on trust. And that's never good. That's what Belgium is doing, and that's why the national team will never win, because they pick on trust, or like, I know this player, but they don't pick on this moment in time, player X and Y is better. They're not doing that. That's why they will never win. It's that simple. Okay, let's move on. Last quote, Bonucci. And Justin and Julian will talk about it on the After Dark. They will touch on it. Because there were reports that Bonucci asked to leave, blah blah blah. Obviously, not real news, because the same people prove they cannot even predict will Chiesa be on that bench. So let alone this. But he was asked about it. He said Bonucci is the captain of the team. He's a player of character and quality. I also have to manage his energy according to the games we play. He's a man of responsibility. He gives us value by playing and when he's not playing, actually. He's captain by name, because he named him captain. But I don't believe anyone in that locker room is like, yeah, you're our captain. I think there's absolutely no captain in that team. I don't believe there is a person like a Chiellini, like a Del Piero, like a Buffon, where just everyone is looking at him and is like, okay, that's the guy. When he speaks, we're quiet, we listen, he will get us out of this mess in terms of motivation. He will, step in front of that camera and basically take the blame, whatever, or shift the blame away from certain players, whatever. When Bonucci does that, it's forced. It doesn't feel real. If everyone you watch that All or Nothing documentary, it was pushed. It wasn't real. It didn't feel, genuine. And I actually have that same feeling. When I look at these players, I don't think they respect Bonucci for so many reasons. And I think there is no captain at the club, especially when, when Bonucci's not playing, it goes to Quadrado. When Quadrado's not playing, it's going to Sandro. That's not how you pick a captain. Like, I'm sorry. That's why I don't really care at this point who wears that armband. Even when Dybala got that, I'm like, you're getting him because 4 guys are being benched. That's it. Like, I'm not gonna be hyped about it. It's not because the coach is like, you're the leader. It's not that. That's not why it's happening. And yeah, I'm not saying we're losing because Bonucci is a captain. Maybe we're losing some games because he's doing a madness on the pitch. But I think there's a void. I think Julian and Justin will discuss that on the late night After Dark show a little bit, but I don't think there's a real captain. I think there's a void to be filled, and I can see one guy taking up that spot if he's allowed, but I don't think he will be allowed to do that from within the club in terms of Allegri and Bonucci not allowing that at this point. But whatever. Those were the quotes. Julian saying like the video. So yes, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. As I said, there will be an After Dark live with Justin and Julian in about 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. If you haven't watched the Pick'em video, do that after this live or whenever. Tomorrow, match reactions podcast on Sunday. Khalid is saying, I'm starting to actually hate Allegri. Well, you're gonna join a lot of people. So I don't hate him. Like, I don't hate anyone. But I'm disliking you a little bit more and more with each passing day at this point. If he's winning, he's fun because he's very sarcastic in his answers. He's very cold or whatever you want to call it. Then it's fun. But like, if you're not winning and you hear him speak, you're like, shut up. Like, absolutely shut up. But I think that's in most scenarios, when someone is not doing his job properly, you start not hating, like you start just disliking the person. So yeah. But let's get into the predicted lineup. It's from Sky Italia, so take it with a pinch of salt, whatever. But I will bring it up. So according to Sky, it will be a 4-2-2. What happened with the? Yeah, I messed it up. But it's Chesney in goal. Quadrado, Bonucci, Gatti, Sandro, McKennie, Paredes, Rabiot, Kostic, Keane, and Vlahovic. So that's predicted lineup. I still think Rugani could start. I will say this. Locatelli could start. And I think the other ones will start as well. We're on the pitch. So I think Rugani could be not a surprise, but like could be the guy, changing Gatti or replacing Gatti in this predicted lineup, and Locatelli, Paredes. All the rest, I think, yes, those will be the starters. Not a merit, just based on trust, or like whatever you want to call it, but let's see. Yeah, Kostic in midfield. I think Justin is screwed. But yeah, I don't really know. Like if Gatti starts, yes, he needs to get a start. Quadrado, McKennie, like I'm actually dead inside. Like when it's bad, when Sandro's starting, and I'm not even focusing on Sandro, and I'm focusing on Quadrado, McKennie, then you're playing at an absolutely stinking level. Like, let's be honest, because usually when you see Sandro on that team sheet, you're like, oh my god. Again, you might be, but I think at this moment in the first time, you're like, the first thing you're looking at is like, oh my god, Quadrado, McKennie are again starting. McKennie on that wing again. He's not a winger. I don't know what he is, but like he's not a winger, whatever you want to call it in this system. Like he cannot play that position. He cannot dribble. He cannot pass. He cannot cross consistently good enough. He cannot beat this man. Like, it's absolutely madness. Like I have actually no idea. And again, I have no idea how Allegri walks into that pre-game room and tells the team, McKennie, you're gonna play on the wing. And I don't think he's gonna say that, but like I'm assuming you're expecting that from your winger to beat this man, get to the touchline basically and put in a cross, beat your man, build up play a little bit, whatever, track back. Like, he runs, and that's what Allegri says. Like he runs. That's what he said today. He runs. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, like that's the basis of the sport. Just like run, like he's playing. That's what he said today. Like he runs. I'm like, good for him. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what to do with that info. Wait, McKennie runs. Okay, what? How is that helping us that he runs? I don't get it. Vidal runs, but Vidal scored a shitload of goals. Won the ball back a shitload of times during a game, and he run. I'm like, great. I can hop on that train. On Vidal runs a lot. Good for him, but it's useful. McKennie runs, and I'm like, to what? For what? What's the goal? Like, is this a freaking beep test that he's doing in 90 minutes? Like, I don't know what it is. Is this an experiment? Are we playing him because he needs to get in shape? I have no idea, but I don't want to hear McKennie runs, because it's not helping us. It's not helping us. He's running away from his tasks. That's what he's doing. He's running away from what he's supposed to do. That's the running he's doing. But he's not helping the team with just running. But whatever. Julian saying Devils Africa. McKennie tucks in as a RCM. Quadrado runs down the flank as the factor right winger. I think that's even worse. I think that's worse. It won't work, but maybe that's the idea. I think it's worse, but okay, it's not working. I think we try to do that during games. McKennie comes in. I think we did that against Torino, and especially in the first half. McKennie tucked in a little bit, but like he's so poor on the ball. Like he just at some point, I'm like, you're just making life more difficult for whoever is in that midfield for us, because you're not helping anyone. Like you're not helping anyone. You're just not. And I mean, I don't know who played football. Like when you have a good game, forget about when you have a bad game, and one of your teammates is having an absolute stinker. You know it, and you get frustrated, and you start avoiding that player. And I think that's even worse, because then you become more predictable. I want to say, because you're not going to use a player Which was it? Torino? I think the previous game. He gave the ball away, I think twice or three times in like 20 seconds. I don't know which game it was. He had the ball, he gave it away, the opponent messed up. It came back to him, he gave it away again, then he tracked it down, he won it back, and he gave it away again. I don't know which game it was. I'm like, oh my god. It was 20-30 seconds. I'm like, you got the ball twice and you gave it away three times, whatever. That's what he's doing. Like, he's not helping, and I know what's going to happen. He's going to pop up with a goal and he will get a lot of praise, but he played absolutely crap. That's what's going to happen. I know it. I know what's going to happen. I mean, if he scores, good. But he shouldn't be on that pitch. Same for Cuadrado. Same for a lot of these players. Probably Chesney. Shouldn't be on that pitch. But whatever. Keane. Like, why is Milik not playing? I didn't even clock that. Now I'm thinking, what the hell happened to Milik? He's fit. Like, I don't want to hear that. He was playing so well, and he's out of that squad now. How? Because he had a minor injury. He had a few minutes against Torino, a week's rest, so he should be fit. Where the hell is Milik if he's not starting tomorrow? Where the hell is he? Because he was a player who was in form. Julian calls him Ballon d'Or Milik because he was having a good spell, and he kind of disappeared now if he's not playing tomorrow because he's fit. Like, there's no reports that he's not fit. Played against Torino a little bit, week off, he's fit. If he doesn't start, I'm confused. I'm actually confused. But let's see. Who would you play instead of McKennie and Cuadrado? At this point, I would play Danilo, left back. Right back. I would do it. And I wouldn't play a 4-4-2, but like Miretti should be in that team. He should be in that team. I have no idea what happened to Miretti now. I have absolutely no idea what happened to Miretti, why he's not getting minutes anymore. Like, significant minutes. I have absolutely no idea what happened to that. But whatever. Maybe he's getting rested for Benfica. Great. So we're resting our informed players for kind of meaningless games. Because let's be honest, it's an impossible task. Like that shouldn't be the main focus at this point. But I don't expect McKennie or like Sule and all those players to play from the minute. Like, I expected that if you wanted to reaction, you missed that boat. It needed to happen to Torino. You bench 4 or 5 players, you bring in 4 or 5 new players, quote unquote. So I don't expect Sule to start against Empoli. People might expect that, but I expect him to get significant minutes. With significant, I mean 20 minutes, not 5, not 8. When you're 2-0 down against Maccabi, I'm like, why? Like, I know why, but like, why? Still why? I expect Sule to come in and have significant minutes in a game where, it's still something to be played for. Not 2-0 to Maccabi. That game was gone. It was completely gone, and you felt you're not getting into that game again. That's when you can value a player, not when the game is completely gone, won, and you bring in a player, he does well or he doesn't well. You don't learn from that. You don't learn from that. But let's see. But Sule, yeah, he, like the way Cuadrado, McKennie, all these guys are playing. Fagioli, like, I'm not the biggest fan. I think he's a good player, but I'm not the biggest fan. But like, how is he feeling at this point when he's looking, excuse me, at these performances, and it's like, how am I not playing? How am I not getting a single minute at this point in this team? And now with Pogba being back almost, it's gonna get worse for him. But yeah, before I wrap it up, predictions. I say we're gonna win. I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm gonna go Vlahovic twice. That's my prediction. So get your predictions in the chat. I will read them out. But we need to win. I think we will win. I don't think it's gonna be an easy game. Or like a walkover. I don't see it. Empoli are doing pretty well. They're hard to beat. I know they only won, I think, 2 games, but I think they drew 5, which tells you they're not easy to beat. You know, they will make life difficult for us, and we're struggling against anyone at this point. Julian saying 1-0 Juve, on goal to Winter. Yeah, I mean, is it Rabiot is the most dangerous player that comes to mind when he thinks about Juve? So maybe he deserves to, score no goal. I'm just saying that. Anthony's saying 3-1, Vlahovic hat-trick. We will play horribly. I'll take that hat-trick. I think Dusan takes that hat-trick even if we play horribly. Which is madness. Because we can win 3-0 and you can still be like, that was poor. Like, that was bad to watch. Or like, whatever. That's actually a thing now. So nobody's putting their predictions in, just Julian and Anthony, so I'm gonna wrap it up like that. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Before we wrap it up, Kyle is saying 3-0. Very random guess, but whatever. It's 4-2. It's gonna be 2-0. Okay. Before I wrap it up, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will repeat myself. If you haven't, go watch the pick'em video. Also, in about 4.5 hours, there will be a new live with Justin and Julian after dark. So join them, rewatch it, whatever fits you. Tomorrow, live match reaction after the game. My own match reaction on Saturday daily, and on Sunday there will be a podcast. It's been a while, so let's see what we will discuss on the podcast depending on tomorrow's result, basically. But thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for joining on a Thursday evening, and yeah, like the video, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we will see you back in a few hours.